Well, a comfy start to our new week with a partly cloudy sky. Temperatures warm into the comfy upper 60s for our Monday afternoon. We'll go back down to the mid-50s overnight around the lake and warm back into the low to mid-70s by Tuesday, Election Day. No reason to not get out and vote. Although, as we go through the rest of the week, it's been a while, but we may have a better opportunity for some rain by Wednesday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Hey folks, you know Randy Marion Ford Lincoln in Statesville is known for the prices and selection, but I tell you what, you may not have known the distinction that this store received with Ford and Lincoln this year. We received the President's Award for 2023 for Ford for the 5th year in a row. We also received it for Lincoln for the first year, and I tell you, those awards don't come easily. It all boils down to taking care of the customers and having the vehicles you want in stock for you to buy.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I want to see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnon, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnon is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now, because your business matters.
Yeah. You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. We're coming to you from our Burners Cigar Studio. Burners Cigars is home of fine premium cigars and cigar smokers, some of the best in the world. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burners Cigars, located in Brookdale Village and in Denver, North Carolina. Please go on by there and check them out. Tell them that Joe sent you, and your first cigar is on me. This is WSIC News Talk, and we hope we can inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC. This is 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnon, and this is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. And we thank you so much for listening. Every month we have a new co-host, and this month I am excited to introduce our co-host. I am so excited I put together a formal introduction. Now, I normally don't do that for this show, but I took some time to put this together because our co-host is so special. So if you're ready, I am ready to give my formal introduction to the co-host for the entire month. Thank you so much for getting involved, and we hope that you really will enjoy the show. So, may I introduce Patrick Reynolds, our very own legendary on-air host of WSIC Radio. He is a local, celebrated motivational speaker, empowering corporate employees to tap into their strengths, embrace their unique abilities to unlock hidden potential, helping organizations foster a resilient workforce. Patrick can be seen and heard as a guest host every morning on Good Morning LKN between about 8:45 and 9. He is, of course, host of Home Ad Show on WSIC from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And for the month of November, of course, he is here, my co-host on Local Biz Now. Sunday, November the 10th, he will be the MC for Ghostface Brewing Rock a Lot. That is a Veterans Day concert that is happening in Mooresville, North Carolina, and Patrick will be the MC for that. Now, that is the formal, respectful invite that I give my co-host. However, all the official bio and legendariness of Patrick Reynolds will now be clarified my 10 years of knowing Patrick. Are we now ready? let me proudly introduce to you the most useless legend in all the villes, from Statesville to Huntersville and all the towns in between. He is, and he knows nothing. He says nothing. He does nothing. He creates nothing. He builds nothing. He changes nothing. He contributes to nothing. He improves nothing. He plans nothing. He starts nothing. He finishes nothing. He fixes nothing. And yet, somehow, everybody loves him. Everybody wants to be Patrick. So please, give it up for the Kardashian of Lake Norman, Patrick Reynolds.
Joe?
What?
You were cueing
Now,
the producer.
Joe, hold on a minute, Patrick. I was going to get you some applause. Instead, you get crickets. I was going to get you some applause for that, but I can't do that.
Guy stinks!
So, Patrick, my friend, thank you for letting me pick on you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Of all the introductions that I've ever had, that one was the most recent.
So, if you can't tell by now, Patrick and I have been friends for well over 10 years. And yes, I like picking on him. And let me be clear, I do make fun of him. But Patrick and I became good friends because I would ask him to stay over after my morning show and give me family advice over breakfast for years. So as much as I pick on him, he is a family friend who I've asked advice from for many years, buddy. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Somewhere along the line, I'll start calling you the Kardashian of Lake Norman. Now, here's something you don't know.
Something I don't know.
You don't know.
Oh, we'll
I
see.
did this for you
You for me.
because
For you? For me.
you know Julie, she loves you.
I love Julie. Everybody needs a Julie.
And everybody needs a Julie.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so Julie said to me,
Julie said to you.
Patrick Reynolds needs a tagline.
She did.
And she wants to know if I would help you with that. I got you.
You got me.
I got you.
All right.
Patrick Reynolds, the voice of Lake Norman. That should be applause right there, but they don't have the applause button today, so I can't get you any applause right there.
The applause button's broken, evidently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The voice
The
of Lake
voice
Norman.
Of Lake Norman. I kind of like that.
No, you still like my old one, Kardashian of Lake Norman.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So thanks you, my friend. I've spent long enough picking on you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. But the truth is, you've gotten busy. Things have started to move for you in a positive direction. Julie told me you are a co-author of a book.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I wrote a book, believe it or not. It is about a gentleman, Don LaJoy is his name. He is from Connecticut, retired race car driver. His grandson is Corey LaJoy, who currently competes in the NASCAR Cup Series today. The middle member of the family is Randy LaJoy, two-time NASCAR Busch Series champion in the 90s.
I was going to say, I remember that name.
Randy LaJoy,
back
yeah.
in the day when I used to watch more NASCAR.
Right.
I hadn't watched it in a while, but I used to watch it.
Randy was a two-time Busch Series champion, and his father is Don, who's in his 80s right now, retired. I used to watch Don when I was a kid, and growing up in Connecticut, it was the first racetrack I ever went to as a little boy, and watched him, and he dominated that little short track in Danbury, Connecticut, the fairgrounds on Saturday nights, much like Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt used to dominate NASCAR, but in his own little pond there, Don LaJoy was a champion and a big winner. The family called me up and said, would you like to be an author on this book? We got together with some other people. I typed up, I'm now an author, man. Printed, published author.
You the
Don
man.
LaJoy on and off the track.
I gotta add that to your accolades.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I'll
Make my
figure out how to
introduction that much
fit
longer
that in.
now.
That's
Yeah.
right. Let's take a break, buddy, and we'll come back. Are you ready for this? Because I know you like doing this. You are listening to Local Biz Now, where, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah! We'll be right back.
We'll return to more of Local Biz Now with your host, Joe Vagnone.
No, I'm going to...
Damn, I was tearing up.
really start talking about
It
you
would have
guys.
been exceptional if the button worked. How come the button doesn't work for me, but it'll be working for you in 10 minutes? Why is that?
Because these are muted.
They're not.
Oh, okay, they're not. Okay, so I can't answer that. Thank you. Yeah, you
stay live.
you stay live during the commercials on social media.
We are live.
Yes.
You cannot make fun of me and
I
cuss
can.
me out because we're
can't cuss
live
you out,
on
yeah.
Facebook.
Well, we're not governed by FCC on the stream like that. Just so it's like if something slips out, it's okay. But on the airwaves, yeah, we can. So yeah.
Okay,
When I
so
post your video on YouTube, I'll have to age restrict it.
right.
Mature content only.
So we got another 15 minutes, guys. We're going to do this, and then you guys will be on. So by then you'll be relaxed, and you'll realize there's nothing you could say that's going to bother us. So
I want to mention one thing. So I noticed the veteran thing. We talked about it, but I donated the Patriots Point at Hager's Creek, not Hager's Creek, down here, Ramsey Creek. It's a dock for veterans, but I'm paying out of Lancaster, paying out of pocket to add on to that dock, and then the Wildlife Federation, North Carolina Wildlife Federation, and Duke
right.
are putting rocks out to create a rock reef
Right.
for fishing for the Patriots. So they're going to announce that this weekend as well. So
Oh, great.
Maybe you can
Let's make sure we talk about it.
plug it up.
Cool. David, that's your job to remember that.
And it don't matter if we do or not. I thought
that's
great. I like
Mark,
the veteran
make
thing,
him
so.
make him earn his money, will you
I will.
please?
He does.
You got a good, but you know you got a good. I don't have to tell you that, do I?
Oh, I know. First day I met him.
See, I no longer got the y'all done with that, right? You don't let me see that anymore with the colors and all that anymore. Okay. All right. I mean, Patrick, they just treat me so bad.
When's your book out?
Right now.
On Amazon?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Good for you.
Yep. I have yet to hold a printed copy.
Oh,
of
you
it
got to
yet.
get a copy.
I know.
You got to do some
That
signing.
explains why you didn't bring me one.
I do. I will. I will. Yes, but I haven't held a printed copy yet. Maybe this week.
We on it?
Nice.
Huzzah! Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
Now more Local Biz Now with Joe Bagnon on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Yeah. #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. We're happy to have you. This is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Bagnon, and I am here with my friend, whether he will admit it or not, Patrick Reynolds. He is the our very own legendary on-air host of WSIC, author, and MC. And I'm happy to have Patrick here, buddy. Thank you so much for doing this for me. Now I know you've gotten busier, so you coming here and being my co-host is not as easy as it used to be. So I appreciate you coming here, buddy.
Thank you for letting me be a part of this. I love Local Biz Now. Have loved the time on air with you for years and years. And
you were back when it started. I mean, you know, yeah.
Yeah, back in the early days
Yeah,
of Local
that's
Biz
right.
Now. I remember that. I remember Friday mornings in
Yeah.
Statesville. We'd have a meeting. We'd have Local Biz Now. Then we'd all go to breakfast.
That's right.
And we would talk parenting and
Yeah.
fatherhood.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what I did on my side. You tell me what you did on your side. We compared notes of our kids.
Yeah.
It got beyond radio and business and all
It
that.
did.
It got to family and like fatherhood. And I'm
Yeah.
like, man.
Well, that's why I'm comfortable picking on you.
Oh yeah, go right ahead. I know what I'm getting into.
I only do that to friends, you understand? I mean, if I don't like you, I don't think I'm going to pick on them.
Yeah, I would worry about that if this was a straight up show. Just like, hey, I'm Joe, this is Patrick, let's go. That's
So, let's do this, though. So you do speaking engagements and MC and that sort of stuff. So walk me through, if there's somebody listening and has some interest in that or a need for that, what would that look like?
Anybody that wants to get a hold of me for any kind of speaking engagement, hosting like that, probably best to go through my website. And it is prmc.com. It's spelled PREMCEE. When you think about it, the word MC is the letter M, the letter C, and a lot of useless E's that are a part of that word.
That fits good for you.
Isn't it? Useless?
Useless
yeah.
E.
The useless E. Yeah.
Why'd you tee that up for me like that? You knew that was coming, didn't you?
Because I teed it up for you. You're going to throw useless out there for me. Patrick Kardashian here.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So I would say go through my website, info@prmc.com. You can drop me an email or Waves Entertainment. I do a lot with them.
And Julie's got you on Facebook. She's got your listing
Julie's
right there.
the best.
So I'm curious, okay?
Yes.
You couldn't help but love your predecessor, Shannon. Pat
Shannon.
Shannon.
Oh, yes.
You couldn't help but love him, right?
Oh,
Just a
legend.
wonderful guy.
Legend.
You took his show over, and I hear from time to time business people calling in strategically, subversively selling their products and service. I love that, right? I really like that. Do you have any knowledge how good that works? And are you okay if we tell people to keep calling in, or does it bother you that they don't have a specific product? I'm curious what you think about that.
I don't mind it at all. I would encourage people to do that. Yes, continue to.
Because to me, it seems like a great place to get started or to sell a product or service, which is to call Pat and talk a little bit about what it is you can do for people listening. Because people listening to your show, they are prepared to buy products and services.
The tagline for the show, home ad, buying, selling, celebrating.
Yeah.
The celebration part is because we give a birthday and anniversary prize away every day for anybody that has a birthday. But the buying and selling, that's the heartbeat of the show. That is the heartbeat of home ad. I have stuff to sell, I have a service to sell, or I'm looking for something. We put people together all the time. People have something for sale. People call them. People are looking for something, or they have a service. We connect.
And
people
you
all
don't
the time.
mind that us small business people kind of slide in there and offer some
Mind,
stuff.
I encourage it.
Okay, I didn't know that.
No.
Okay.
I encourage that. There's a lot of people that have small businesses, or they have a career and they got something on the side, like out of their garage or their basement. They're trying to build.
We call that a little side hustle.
Little side hustle. Side
Right.
hustles, plural. Yeah. That's all that. We encourage that. This is a place for you. Now, you grow and get big. Now you're a super conglomerate. You should buy some advertising right here on WSIC. However, homegrown, blue collar, salt of the earth, Main Street USA, those folks that are just, the mom and pops of the world, home ad is your home.
Right.
Come on, give us a call. We'll talk about your business.
So that show is the first full-time radio that you've done, right?
Well, no, actually, no. I've done full-time radio. Gosh, it began on WSIC on this is how I got started in radio, is the recession of 2008 changed business. And at the time, I was a pit crew guy.
NASCAR
on the
business,
NASCAR
right.
right.
Right,
NASCAR
right.
business. NASCAR runs off of sponsorship, advertising, marketing dollars. And when there's a big recession, what's the first budget getting slashed in corporate America? Advertising, budget, marketing dollars. Me and a few thousand of my friends found us out of work. And by coincidence, WSIC, beginning on there, was an auto racing talk show. And
Was that with Mike?
Mike Garrity.
Oh, yeah, okay. Interesting.
I was an out-of-work NASCAR crew guy looking for a job, and this man was Mike Garrity, starting an auto racing talk show. Timing
didn't know
is
that.
everything. That was my first
Mike is
step.
phenomenal. I love him. He's just a wonderful guy.
Marketing, sales, branding, communications, does it all. And he's got behind-the-wheel experience in the super speedways of NASCAR. I didn't know if you knew that, but yeah, he's a fire suit
I know
wearing,
a
helmet
little
wearing
bit
guy.
about
Yeah.
him. I'll
Yeah.
tell you something about
That's
me
where I got
you
my start.
didn't know.
Go ahead.
Mike Garrity also had the contract for all of the video for Channel 7, I think it was, or Channel 4 on My Connection. It was the local station for the area.
I remember a little bit about My Connection because I believe he did a weekly television show as well.
He had a
Out of
weekly television show.
Papa's Hot Dogs in Mooresville.
But he actually had the contract to provide all content for Channel 4. He was the guy that provided all of that, and he videotaped it himself as well and put it on the air and that sort of stuff. I was a small business show
Really?
And that's how I met Mike. He invited me and asked me
I don't
to
think
do
I
that.
knew
So-
that piece of the puzzle. That's how you met Mike.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Small world.
That's where I started.
Where Mike Garrett, if Mike's listening, hey buddy, we think
Mike.
good of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think if it wasn't for Mike, I don't think I would be here sitting with you today. Literally, I was unemployed. And I went to some sort, because people ask all the time, how'd you get started in radio? How'd you get on stage, Mike?
Right.
And I said, I went to some
I had
kind
nothing
of,
to do. That's why I
Literally.
pick on you.
I
You
was-
came from nothing, baby.
I went to some kind of, I don't remember what the event was, but it was a Chamber of Commerce networking job fair, something like that. I was at the Charles Mack Citizen Center in Mooresville, and I had my resume in hand, printed resume, back in the days of printed resume, shaking hands, meeting business owners. I was looking for a job.
Right.
A job. I was down to it. And I met Mike, and he said, have you ever tried radio? I said, no. He said, you want to give it a shot? I said, sure. And
Absolutely. Can I start today?
14 years later, I'm co-hosting Local Biz Now with Joe Bagnone. But that's how it began, was do you want to give radio a shot? And I never had before. That led to WSIC. That led to my own auto racing talk show. I started my own. That led to connection with Old Town Cornelius and getting on stage and emceeing and Waves Entertainment. It snowballed. One door led to another, led to another, led to another. I was on stage. I was on microphones doing this and that, and one thing just kept going.
So let's
after
talk
another.
about Waves. What is your association with that now? How are you involved with that?
I'm a part owner of Waves Entertainment, believe it or not. Majority owner Justin Taylor, who also owns Serenity Now Massage Therapy and recently purchased 158 on Main in Mooresville. But Waves entertainment company of stage, band booking, sound, audio.
I was going to say, I know it is sort of a booking firm,
It's
right?
a concert, outdoor festival type of business, and I began working with them. We came out of 2020. People were starved for entertainment because we sat inside for a whole year.
Right.
So in 21, a lot of us, not a lot of us, but a few of us, we dove in full time, risked it, rolled the dice, but we were elbows deep full time, and it took off.
Right.
And we've done a lot of concerts and festivals in the area. I was the de facto MC. I work in sales in there now, selling with the organizers, new events, how we get sponsorship, things like that. So I'm in doing sales for Waves Entertainment. We provide audio and stage and sound, lighting, LED walls. We just did the Statesville Pumpkin Festival a couple days ago. In Statesville, we run the stage at Brookdale Village, the entertainment there. We manage Langtree Live Thursdays at Langtree in Mooresville. A lot of we've done work at the AMP down in Ballantyne. So many events around the community.
How far do you guys go out? Do you spread out?
I'll go anywhere as long as the invoice makes sense. But
I
a
got
typical footprint, probably South Charlotte up to Hickory, Cleveland area right now. However, we'd go further, no problem. We've gone to Tennessee. We'd go to South Carolina, Virginia. We'll go.
That
ahead.
reminds me
it.
back when I had a DJ business. You know, I'm on.
Where you want me to go?
Where you want me? I'll be there.
The invoice makes sense. Let's go.
So, give me an idea of a buyer profile. If somebody's listening, what is a good buyer profile for you? Good client that fits your business model for that.
We often have property owners. Property owners, not just like a tenant, like a house with a tenant, but the communities. Like you think of Brookdale Village, it's a residence. Langtree, it's a residence. But they have series of concerts, and they have a stage and entertainment. Live, work, play are some of these communities. That's a big part of this. But the entertainment aspect of it, people are attracted to those as tenants. They want to visit, they want to live there, they want to stay there. And the entertainment aspect is part of that. So an ideal client for Waves Entertainment would be a property owner like that, like a Langtree or a Brookdale Village, or the towns that are within the Voice of footprint, the Mooresvilles, the Cornelius Huntersville. They constantly have stages. They need to manage events. They need bands. They need entertainment. We do that for that. We take it off their plate and put it onto ours.
Here comes the Kardashian of Lake Norman,
There you
because
go.
somebody's got to make those connections and contact. That's what you're always in and around. Our next guest, he walked in the door and you're sitting there shaking his hand.
Okay,
you guys already know each other.
Dave and I
Come
go way
on.
back. Oh, yeah.
Can I go anywhere and they don't know Patrick? Dag nabbit.
Everybody knows Patrick.
Everybody loves Patrick. Okay, let's take a break. You are listening to Local Biz Now. We come back, we're going to introduce you to an exceptional small businessman in the area. If it is Monday afternoon,
your business matters.
Yeah, you're listening to the Kardashian of Lake Norman. We'll be right back.
We'll return to more of Local Biz Now with your host, Joe Vagnone, after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a comfy start to our new
I
week.
came from I met you. I was just doing this, just doing sales here, but I just kind of grew on air and sales.
Awesome.
I sell a little bit when I can.
Joe is the worst board operator on the planet. All I ask is one thing of Joe, superstar, one thing, one button to press applause for Patrick. One button, that's all I ask him to do. And I have not asked him to do something in like 3 months. Or maybe that was 3 days. But that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. You didn't give him any of that. You didn't give him any candy, did you? Because he don't deserve any right now.
No, I didn't give Joe any.
He just took them.
You good? Thanks.
I did leftover Halloween.
There's a record. Okay. Unless you guys want to leave right now, you're on next. Are you ready?
Ready?
Game, baby.
You see what we're doing and how we're doing? That's it.
All good.
It's literally impossible to mess up. And don't worry, I tell people all the time, relax. There's no question we're going to ask you don't know the answer to, because we don't know the answer, so you can say whatever you want.
Right, I'm good.
We got to call. I'll call in every couple.
I was nice to you. Remember that.
What's he doing? Crickets.
Hey, you got a drum roll?
Nobody likes Joe. Nobody likes him. He's got no friends. Now, Superstar, on the other hand, he has yet to mess up. I can't even give him a nickname because he won't mess up. Oh, yes, he got one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's play it.
Check out the big brain on
Pat. I love that. Let's start with that intro. I love that.
That's Samuel L. That's Samuel L.
I love that. Oh, that is too good.
Hey, I've worked here since August and I haven't even heard that one.
If I won once in a while, you might hear it.
Check out the big brain on
Pat. Oh, that's exceptional.
We're going to guess wrong next. Let's find out.
That's exceptional. Mike, you're not getting the same intro that Patrick got. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
All right, 30 seconds. Yep.
Mark.
Joe haven't been.
Now more Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. This is News Talk WSIC, 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone, and I am here with Patrick Reynolds. He is the Kardashian of Lake Norman. This is Local Biz Now, and if it is Local Biz Now, say it, say it, say it.
Your business matters.
Nice.
Just like that.
You got it.
A period.
Okay.
Make it 3 separate sentences. 3
Okay.
words, 3 sentences. You got to say
Okay.
it just like that. Just like that.
So let's introduce our guest. How about it?
Let's do it.
Well, but before we introduce our guest,
But before-
JoJo, are you going to, did Joe leave? Give it to me. Let me.
Samuel, let's cue up
check
Samuel.
out the big brain on
They're picking on Patrick, just so y'all know, in the booth back there. One more time, JoJo, one more time.
check out the big brain on
I like that. Okay.
That's Samuel L. Jackson with Joe Berg, a little modification. We
You
play
idiot.
we play a game every morning on Home Ad Show. Guess the song. We have 4 rounds of it, and Joe selects songs, and I get a little snippet of it. No idea what they are, and I have to guess title and artist of the song. If I win, it's me versus the audience.
You
every
get
day.
that.
If I win, I get that.
Check
I don't
out the big brain on.
I don't often win, so it's nice to
Okay,
hear.
so
it
you don't
from
hear that. You've heard it more
Very-
today
oh, yeah.
than you have all last week. Okay,
Oh, goodness,
got it.
goodness, no, I don't win very often.
Okay, so all right, so let's move on. Let's do some business.
We can move on.
Let's do some
What do you
business.
mean it's not about me? What?
It's not about you. I know you want it to be about you, but it's not about you. Let's end that, all right? I done did your stuff. I done wrote it up. I said it. I talked about it. I
What about
did it all.
My big brain.
That's true.
It's right there.
That's true. You're
Okay.
right.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So you are listening to Local Biz Now. We thank you for being here. I have a guest with me, Mark Lancaster. He's the president of Lancaster Custom Dock and Lift Systems. And he's also here with his general manager, Dave Winfield. I know Dave because he's a listener of the show for a long period of time. It's actually how we met. And he also is the former owner of Ace Handyman, LKN. You probably heard last week or the week before the 2 gentlemen that he sold to. And Dave, let me start by saying they spoke very highly of you, sir. Now, of course, I sold them the business, so I told them you walked on water already. You understand that, don't you?
Of course. Thank you.
But you've proven that to be the case, buddy. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
So, Mark, sir, thank you, sir, for being here and putting up with Patrick and I. Every show is not normally like this, but this one gets a little ridiculous, sir. So I appreciate you allowing us to get silly. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you allowing me to put up with it.
So, you and I were talking before we went on the air. I know a little bit about your industry, and so for me, it's a unique niche of a business that people don't realize has a lot of technical pieces and parts to it. How'd you get into the business?
Well, I grew up at Wilmington, North Carolina, and we had a Big Daddy's restaurant down there. My grandfather was Big Daddy, and my uncle was Tommy Rothrock. He had fishing boats, and he did marine construction on the side. Back in the day, we fished from Memorial Day to Labor Day, and then we built piers and harbors and marinas and dredged in the wintertime.
That sounds like a good life growing up.
It was amazing because I got to go fishing every day.
I mean, it does sound like a good life. Now, when you say your granddaddy was Big Daddy, do you mean Big Daddy also here in Mooresville?
Yes, my family's Big Daddy's restaurant.
I'll tell you something. A wonderful man.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful man. So I didn't know that about you.
Mm.
So you didn't want to get in the restaurant business. You stayed clear of that.
I'm the official taste tester. No, I'm the baby of the 3 boys, and I got a sister that's younger than I am. But I worked. My uncle didn't have any children, so I kind of raised under him, and then I really realized that, I don't want to work on weekends and nights.
Yeah, because the life you just described is not the life of a restaurant. You're saying.
No. I wanted to play on the water and see the bikinis.
There you go.
But yeah, I love what I do. It's crazy. Reason I chose up here because Big Daddy's was put in place in 1974, and it's 50 years this year. And my uncle, we had 2 hurricanes hit Wilmington back to back, and getting permits on the coast and insurance for docks was starting to go away. And I just had been coming up here 1 week out of the year as a kid to spend on the week, on the lake, and I saw the potential, back then, but I really didn't know I was going to be doing it.
Right.
And well, here I am. My grandfather, I had to go to him, and because he had 5 restaurants at the time, and we were all supposed to take one. And I was blessed because my grandfather retired, and my dad only wanted to pick one, so he chose Lake Norman. Saw the potential. I was like, Dad, I want to go in the dock business. He was like, no, you need to run the catering part. And I was like, I really don't want to do that. So I had to get my dad and my grandfather's blessing, and he said, give me a business plan. Go look at Lake Norman.
Right.
I went and got a pontoon boat and went out on the lake and got lost, and came back in about 2 o'clock in the morning after knocking on several people's doors.
Right.
Saying, where am I at and how do I get back to Bud Lancaster's house? So I was eagerly waiting for my dad the next morning when he woke up, and he said, what do you think? And I said, I'm ready to go right now. And he said, well, give me a business plan and let's tell me how much money you're going to need to get started. And I was blessed to have that opportunity. He
was that easy for you to put together a plan for Dad? Like because most people don't realize that opportunity comes across more than you think. Like, you're making light of the fact that you still were required to think through what the beginning of your business looked like. And so walk me through a little bit of that, because there's people out there listening, and I promise you, they hear that from their parents, and they think it's their parents shooing them away for busy work. It's not.
Well,
it's real.
It's real, because he said, the next thing I said to him is, what's a business plan?
Sure. Right.
So, I mean, he described to me what I needed to get put together. And so I looked at building my own first barge, and I got a price on it, and I went and got a boom truck, boom off of a 1950-some pole truck, lineman's truck. And
you guys keep those things running forever.
Forever, yeah. and I got it cut off. I took a torch and went and cut it off and got it loaded and brought it back, and nevertheless to say, it was. I asked him for $25,000. It was NCMB back then. He took me up to the bank in Troutman and co-signed a note for me for $25,000, which he looked over my business plan, and he said, he knew to himself, oh, you're gonna be behind the 8 ball from the get-go.
Right.
So
that's right.
So I built the barge, and it cost me $21,000 some odd dollars, and I still hadn't had a truck or any tools to.
Right.
So for like 3 years in a row, I would go to Big Daddy's and get saltine crackers and eat peanut butter and saltine crackers.
Work weekends if you had to.
Whatever I had to do, but I didn't want Dad to know I was struggling, so. That meant more to me than anything, because we were taught work ethic, and
absolutely,
and none of us went to college. And I was actually, it was in '85 when I was putting that together, so I was 20 years old, and then I got it started, and here we are. 38 years later, but I really got taught a lesson the hard way, but it was the best way, But my thing is I wanted the point lots and the roughest water, because it's how I was taught from the Army Corps of Engineers, and I wanted to do things right. So,
where did you get all of the knowledge to do that? Right? Was it literally just trial and error through all that? Because there is a lot of technical stuff to this.
Yeah.
You can't just scoop up some dirt, right? I mean, there is more to this.
Well, the pilings and driving them in clay, at the coast, we can jet them in and kind of walk them anywhere we want. But driving pilings in clay, there's art to it, because, it's once you get it going, if you want it to be dead on the money, you've got to walk it down, So it's just over time, I just kept on taking on more and more things like boat lifts and automatic boat covers. And we we were mainly out to service people. So I went and hired a engineer to show me how to make things efficient and logistics of moving all the barges and all that. So.
Right. That's interesting. It wasn't your grandfather; it was your dad that I knew, because he opened up the what's the
Queen's Landing.
Queen's Landing.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I remember when he set all of that up many years ago.
I was a captain on the Queen, captain on the Queen, and I would take my clients out and show them my docks and write a contract, feed them, feed them, and then write a contract.
Let's take a break. We come back. Let's bring Dave back because I want to talk about what Dave's helping you with. You are listening to Local Biz Now. Say it, say it, say it, Patrick.
Your business matters.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
We'll return to Local Biz Now with entrepreneur Joe Vagnone in just a moment on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a comfy start to our new week with a partly
6 weeks before he was going to open up Queen's Landing.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, you know,
Uh-huh.
I remember him and I talking. He was mad as hell. They wouldn't let him sell liquor, so he set up the tennis court so that he went through in great detail, you know.
Right.
And I just really liked him. I mean, just a good, genuine guy, right?
Yeah. He would help anybody. You know?
And he absolutely would tell anybody, "This is my dream. I've been wanting to do this on this property, you know, forever." Like, you know, he set this thing up. And then I remember him passing away before it actually opened up.
Yeah, he died of leukemia.
And I
He
thought-
had leukemia for 11 years and never told nobody.
Really?
No, they didn't even tell us until
Wow.
you could do a bone marrow transplant when you were 57. And so he chose, because they said if you start the procedure, you're probably going to die, most likely.
Right.
So he says, I'll wait till I'm 57 to do the bone marrow transplant. And he did, and his sister was a perfect match. He died. I took him to the hospital in South Carolina on January 2nd. He died on.
Wow. And he never actually got a chance to see and enjoy what he had built.
No, he enjoyed the Queen, and he saw the building.
And I always said, you know, no offense to your family, but he'd have ran it a hell of a lot better than you. You know, I always said it never actually got his vision, right? You know, no offense to your family, but your daddy was an excellent operator.
He was he went through the soft opening.
Right.
Got to see that. But
that's good.
He never got to see it take off.
Right.
You know. So.
Yeah. He was a true entrepreneur. I mean, he absolutely was. Yeah. And that's who you learn from, is somebody that just truly said, "Son,
and
just
my
take it one step at a time."
Oh yeah. Work ethic first. So.
That's great.
Yeah. Treat people with respect and give them what you would want.
Absolutely. Give them more than what their expectation is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'd love to do a concert. We'd love to do a concert
We
there.
ready?
Yeah.
Queen's Landing.
Yeah.
Superstar said, "Stop playing around and get ready to go."
But we'll talk about it. I'm going to do one on the lake again. I did Aquapalooza back
Hey,
in the day.
Superstar, can you fire up
We help you
burners
with that?
You remember Aquapalooza?
for me?
Yes, I do.
We need to talk.
Okay.
If you can, let me know. If not, don't.
It's huge. Guinness Book of World Record.
Okay.
2000.
105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Yeah. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. I'm here with Patrick Reynolds. He is, of course, the Kardashian of Lake Norman. He is the voice of Lake Norman. I gave him that brand new tagline. You can have it. It's my gift to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's my gift to you.
I appreciate all you've ever done for me and haven't.
And I'm here with Mark Lancaster. He is the president of Lancaster Custom Dock and Lift Systems. And he's also here with my friend, whether he will admit it or not, Dave Winfield. Dave
He won't admit to that.
No, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Dave is a client of mine. I tell people, once a client, always a client, you know. So he picked up the phone and called me and said, "Hey, let's get Mark on the air." But, you little rascal.
What?
I had told you a concept that I had in mind. It was a Nobel Prize idea that I had, right? You didn't tell me that Mark had already told you to get started putting it together. You didn't tell me that.
Well, is this a royalty discussion?
No, it's just credit.
Just credit. Just ego.
That's right. I am disappointed that Mark came up with this before I did, because I really thought I was on to something. What I'm talking about is the annual service plans that you guys have come up with, essentially sort of an insurance plan for your docks. Dave, can you talk a little bit about that? Because it really is just an exceptional plan, and there is nobody else doing this, especially the way that you put this together.
Well, I remember when I met Mark,
I was in the handyman business, and I had my GC license, and I was
Turn that mic down just a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
I was I love the lake and boats and lifts, and I love being around it. So that's how I met Mark. I thought, dang, they build docks, but do they have time and the personnel to fix docks? And I remember meeting Mark, and he says, I got a stack of repairs like this, and I just can't get to them because I'm building 2 years out on docks.
Right.
So when I got ready to sell the business, I didn't want to sit around and eat Oreos at home, and still got a breath of life in me. So I thought, maybe I'll talk to Mark about doing something with him. And
get those stack of repairs taken care of.
He had this concept, and we kind of worked together on it.
Are you sure he had this concept? You sure you didn't bring it to him?
No.
That came from your friend Joe. Are you sure about that?
No, I think Mark had it. But we could put a Joe Vagnone category in there.
You certainly could have sponsored by. You definitely could put a Local Biz Now sponsor on it. No question about it, because I love the idea.
But the beauty of this is, you'll see any outdoor machinery you have around your home. The best prevention is investing ahead of time and planning for it.
Right.
And so right now, if you own a $500,000 dock or a big dock, and you're spending money on it every year anyway, you might as well plan for it and think through with us how you want to maintain your dock. So that's what we've tried to create there.
And I'm looking at this brochure that, I got to be honest with you, Mark, I probably would have added different colors, you understand? But but other than that, it's exactly what I really believe homeowners that live on the lake should consider. I mean, you've got annual fees from $500 to $2,500 and a list of services that you provide them for. How hard was that to sort of figure out how to put all that together? What offerings to make? Because as much as I see Mark's ingenuity in all of this concept, I see a lot of David in the implementation of a lot of the details and that sort of stuff.
Mark and I and the rest of the team at Lancaster worked together to put this together. So it wasn't me, but the it's a work in progress. This is the first tranche out, and I've already had some discussions with some customers saying, I like this, but I'd like that.
Right.
Today we met with a guy, and he says, I'm so busy, I don't get down to the boat as much as I'd like. And if you don't open the cover and clean off the cobwebs, and he says, could you guys come down once a month and blow it off and clean it up? And, that's something we didn't think about. So things like that will refine over time. And, the beauty is if you're planning on what you're going to spend, you can target that money and control it, and you'll end up with more uptime and more satisfaction.
Well, in my case, especially now that I met Mark, and he holds such credibility in the industry and in the area, that is, I now have somebody I can trust that's going to take care of my problem on my dock. That's not an easy statement to make, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing, when I said $500K, I didn't mean the dock only, but if you've got a couple of ski boats or a pontoon and a ski boat and a couple of kayak and PWCs and dredges, there's significant investments at every address.
Right, absolutely. Yes.
So, it was great, the opportunity to get Dave. I mean, he fit like a glove for sure. When I first met him, and he had a project, I think how we started is he had a little project that was a little bit bigger than what he could handle. And then I share with him, hey, I've got plenty of service work you could do, I can hand off to you, But where we started in my whole concept of when I built the docks is I knew that we had to service the people. And if we couldn't come back when the lift broke down on Memorial Day and we didn't have the manpower to do it, we couldn't take care of it.
And it's always on that holiday, isn't it?
And you got a family reunion going on or something,
And also, Mark, who do they call? You at home. How was your weekend? How was your holiday, Mark?
So we, my deal is, hey, I don't service anybody else's dock, only the dock that I built for my clientele, because I wanted to make sure that we took care of the people that we built the dock for in the first place.
Right.
So we had service agreements with them, but we couldn't and didn't have the manpower to service
Got it.
outside that box. Well, then we started looking at it, and there's 12,000 docks on Lake Norman.
I didn't realize
And
it was
there's
that many.
actually more than that in residential. They were built in the 70s and 80s, 90s.
Oh yeah,
Um,
he must have driven by my dock. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
and so what people don't realize is, one, service is important, and two, try to get somebody out when you need it. They don't show up. They'll call and not show up.
Right.
Or they'll call and show up and then never get back with you. That kind of thing. So I hear a lot of horror stories of people giving deposits and then people not showing back up. So we decided, and I came up with this idea a while back, and I know you want to take credit for it. But
You stole my idea. Okay, go ahead.
I did.
Okay.
I stole it.
Look at the big brain on Joe.
Brain on Joe.
I wish.
Yeah.
Mark beat me to it.
But it was we just started seeing the opportunity to service people that their dock's starting to fail, and at
Right.
the same time when we get on the dock to do it and maintain it, then we see, okay, you've got maybe 5 years left on this dock. So
Right.
we wanted to get in the door to take care of that client, and now we have portals where if we worked on your dock and say you've sold the house 2 or 3 times, you can actually go in and see when we worked on it, the permits. You can see when your service, when we're coming, when it's scheduled. So it's a really good idea. And he was working with the Ace Handyman, had that company, and when he came to me and said, "Hey, I'm selling the company. You think you would have any opportunity?" I said, "Man, are you kidding? You fit what I want to do like a glove. Come on." And
You two really do. I mean, I know him
Yeah,
well, so
yeah.
this is a great fit.
Oh, we have been. We've been working together great. And we really enjoy taking care of our clientele. And the thing that we do the most is building new docks and dredging the shoreline. But now we're building docks that you live on. So you
Right.
literally sit out there and watch football, golf.
That's right.
And kids can play. You can cook hot dogs. Whatever.
It's funny you say that because I've got some friends that come up from Cleveland, and I'm a cigar guy, so we light up a few
I am too.
cigars. It's good to know. I got you a nice Padron sitting out there
Okay.
if you're ready on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'll sit them out by the dock, and we'll smoke it. And my buddy from Cleveland said, "Come on, Joe, be honest. How many times you come out here?" And I said, "Dude, this is not Cleveland. I get good 9-10 months out of the year out here.
Right, right.
We really can get a lot of use out of our
Mm-hmm.
docks. Where other places in the country, it's not that way. I mean, Arizona or Florida, it gets too hot to be outside. We do have the perfect weather for that.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people actually use it at nighttime instead of the daytime,
Absolutely.
and sit out and watch TV. And then underwater lights attracts the fish, so it's like your own aquarium. Our motto is, you bought a lake property, live at the lake. You bought a Lancaster dock to live on the lake, because
Yep.
our clients really enjoy being out there and entertaining. on the dock.
So first of all, if they wanted to reach you guys, how can they reach you guys, Dave? You want to tell me how they can reach you?
Well, the website. You want to talk about the website a little bit?
Yeah, well, our phone number is the best way, and you'll talk to Margaret, but 704-528-7400. Or you can go to our website at lancasterdock.com, and you can see it's a new website. and
It's
you
an
can see
awesome
everything,
website. It
and-
really has got a lot of detail on it.
And we show everything we do, and we're a one-stop shop for all your lake property needs. So.
And you do dredging, dock building, shoreline stabilization, and the one thing you do that it lets me know you're set above the rest, and that is you do the design build, so you will design it for the clients as well.
Yes, we have draftsmen on staff, and we have our own permitting staff. And when we come back from this break, I'm going to tell you about one more thing that we're really stepping into.
We have no break.
Oh.
So
okay. So we're doing LIM, this Lancaster Innovative Marine Solutions. We're setting up dealers now. I have my own factory in Kentucky that we make our own boat lifts, our own docks, everything. And we're going to be setting off. We're going to be introducing Lancaster Innovative Marine Solutions in Nashville, Tennessee, in December at the Dock Expo, and we're going nationwide.
that is great.
Great.
And we'll put Julie put that on Facebook for you as well. Thank you so much, guys. You are listening to Local Biz Now. If it's Monday afternoon, say it, Patrick. Say it, say it, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, yeah.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville, W264CU.